That's just what I seek to find. Oh yeah, I ain't in the mood. I just need some solitude.
Fit FM is owned and operated by Communistation Completed, located in Stuart Castle, Duncan's Trelawney, Jamaica. We broadcast on FM 96.7 locally and is heard worldwide on fitfmja.com. Our mission is to amplify diverse voices and opinions, inform, educate, entertain, and engage listeners of all ages and lifestyle while promoting responsible community development. Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Are you struggling with loneliness? Feeling depressed? Are you searching for a purpose to live? Are you ready to tap into your inner greatness? Ready to soar to your full potential? Come and be inspired. Join me, Dr. Asha Mwendo, on Healing Moment inside Gospel and Soul every Wednesday, 6 p.m., where we will help you to understand your purpose. We will help you to find your wind. We'll show you how to open your wings and fly. Healing Moments, Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. Good evening, my people. How are you this evening? And you know it's your girl, Dr. Asha Mwendo, on Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. This evening's program is being brought to you by Fit FM 96.7 and Wellness in Motion. And we have an awesome program lineup for you this evening. And you know, as usual, we want you to be part of the conversation. So how do you do that? Yes, you join us on our WhatsApp line at 876-478-9144 or 876-317-1991. As usual, Healing Moments join with a call for elimination of violence against women and girls. And this evening, we have a program for you by Healing Hands Foundation members, and we're talking about mental health. But you know the drill already. You're going to tell a friend, get your pen, get your sip, listen to this bit of music until we come right back.
If you see the tears falling from my eyes, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. And if you see my head held down when it should be high, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. 'Cause with each tear that I cry, it is building a new strength in me. So brother, don't you worry about me, let it be. It's just my Lord and Savior healing.
Global Hands Foundation presents Mental Health Awareness Day, Thursday, August 11, 2022, at Bounty All Trelawney at the New Testament Church of God, starting at 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Free screening, one-on-one with some of our best psychiatrists, free medical items giveaway, wheelchair, walkers, food packages, refreshment, Bounty Ultraloni, August 11th. For more info, call 876-840-3619 or 876-542-1532. See you there.
Okay, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Did I say Healing Hands? No, it's Global Hands Foundation members will be joining me this evening. But as you know, just before we go into our main thing, we do our Let's Talk. So Let's Talk for this evening, we're reminding you that in Runaway Bay tomorrow, the farmers market and bazaar is still on, rain or shine. They are out there. Some get wet up, but we're out there just the same. So come out and join us tomorrow starting at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're there before that, but come and join us. And as you know, Wellness in Motion, my company, will be having a holistic wellness talk. It's first Thursday. And so I'll be there to talk about wellness. So you come on out. We'll be looking at focusing on antioxidants again and circulation, and also how eating right helps with your brain working properly. So that's what we'll be looking at this Thursday coming. That's tomorrow at Runaway Bay at Amifi Tell You. The talk will start at 1 o'clock, but we're open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. But the talk starts at 1. So come on out. We're looking for you. Wellness in Motion, in partnership with Etiquette and Protocol Solutions, will be doing our Level Up Empowerment Retreat on August 28th at the Rock Wharf. This will be done by, as I tell you, myself, Dr. Asha Mowendo, and the etiquette guru, Natanish Hines. We're inviting you to come out and get yourself leveled up so that you can own your own wings and you can fly with style and confidence. That's what we promise you. And so you call us at 876-870-2284 or 876-498-8804, or you can send us an email at blessedcl@live.com. Come out. Contribution only $50 or 7,500 Jamaican dollars. We start at 2 p.m. and we're looking forward to sharing with you. And as usual, I'm asking for your support. I have 112 children to send back to school. 77 of them are the secondary level, 29 at primary, and the 6 at tertiary. The 6 at tertiary are fully taken care of already. So now I need your assistance with our secondary and primary students. So we need back to school bags, books. You know anything for back to school, we need that. We do uniforms, shoes, and everything. And Wellness in Motion, our back to school program, is not a program that we just send the kids back to school, give them some books. We work with the kids we have on board for the entire school year. So we ensure they have lunch money, school fee, everything we assist them with. So whatever support you give is well supported. And 112 children, not so easy, not true. Some of you have 2 and 3 and no, say rough. So we need your support for 112 kids that we have going back to school. So any support you can give, we are open and we are willing for your support. Okay, now we're going to get ready for our wonderful, wonderful program that we have with you this evening. So just before we bring our guests on, we're going to roll the promo again, right? Or a song you have lined up for us. So we want to do the promo again just to get you teased up. Normally we'd play a song at this time and you know it, but just give us a little, a little thing. We're gonna do the promo again. And I didn't tell my my program coordinator that's what I wanted, so she's getting it lined up. She had the music lined up, but we want to do the promo that persons can get themselves lined up for what we're going to do. So here's the promo again.
Global Hands Foundation presents Mental Health Awareness Day, Thursday, August 11, 2022 at Bounty Ultraloni at the New Testament Church of God, starting at 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. free screening, one-on-one with some of our best psychiatrists, free medical items giveaway, wheelchair, walkers, food packages, refreshment, Bounty Ultraloni, August 11th. For more info, call 876-840-3619 or 876-542-1532. See you there.
Okay. So welcome back. Now I have some lovely ladies on my screen. I know you are seeing them, right? So Carlene seems to be having some technical challenges. So she keep dropping off and coming
That
back.
that's
And
Roslyn.
so she's on now again. So I'm gonna talk to Caroline first and then have her, set the pace. And then I see you, Caroline. I see you're back, and I'm glad you're back. So, as I told you before, our guest this evening at Global Hands Foundation, and they are putting on their third annual mental health awareness for this week, for this year, and it is next week. And so we have lined up our guests to talk about what they're coming to do. For me, it is just awesome. It's just exciting. I think it's an awesome team they have coming in. All knowledgeable, bright young ladies. And I know some gentlemen must be in there somewhere. So on screen with me this evening, I have Caroline Coates. And I'm going to tell the ladies, if I don't pronounce your name correctly, you're going to forgive me. I tell you, you're going to forgive me, okay? And then you're going to pronounce it for us correctly. So I have Caroline Coates, Bijesh. This one I wasn't so sure of. So I'm not going to call her last name. She's going to tell you what she name. And then we have Sophia. I'm Sophia going to call her last name too. And we have Atasha Jordan and Rosalind Washington. And, this reminds me of when persons tell me they can't call my last name. And I say, oh, it's easy. No, I see. So sometimes it's only easy to the person who own it. So my guest, Caroline, good evening. How on a do? Glad to have you almost in Jamaica already, but good to have you on air with us on Healing Moments this evening on Fit FM 96.7. Talk to me. Come on, the people that might listen. Wagwan.
Hi. Hello, Jamaica. Thanks for having us. I'm Carlene Coates. We're going to be in Jamaica August 11th, founder of Global Hands. And I'll be in Jamaica August 11th, 10 to 5, Bounty Ultraloni. I'm bringing my team. We are bringing a lot of medical supplies. We're bringing back to school stuff, personal care items, just a lot of stuff. Just come on out and meet with us, and we're there for you guys. And I'm going to hand it over to Atasha Jordan.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Tasha Jordan. I am really excited to be a part of Carlene's team coming in with the Global Hands Foundation to Jamaica next week. I'll share a little bit about my background. So I'm from the Caribbean, actually. I was born in Barbados. My mother's side of the family is from Trinidad and Tobago. And I was most recently in Jamaica in Montego Bay for my honeymoon in April. So I had not initially planned to be back to Jamaica so soon, but I am very excited to be back to Jamaica and to be there to meet all of you who are coming out to our mental health fair on the 11th next week, and really looking forward to that time with you all.
And now we're
Awesome.
going to go to Brigitte. Hi, Brigitte.
Good evening. Hello, Jamaica, Wagwan, everyone. Dr. Austin, you have to tell me how to say your last name first, and then I'll tell you mine.
Okay, my last name is Muendo.
Okay. Well, nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Brigitte Chavarria Lewis. You can go with the Lewis. That one should be easier. But I'm just so excited to come out next week. We'll be there on August 9th we're getting in on August 9th. We'll be at the town center on August 11th. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's faces. I'm looking forward to answering questions. I'm looking forward to talking about mental health and everything that it has to offer and all the benefits of making sure that you're aware of your mental health and working on your mental health. So I'm excited to see you all, and I hope you come out.
Okay, and now I'm going to move over to Sophia Comita.
Thank you, Carlene. Hi, everyone. So sadly, I'm not going to be there, but I'm going to pump up this event. I know, sometimes it's very hard for us to think about our mental health, think about why we might not be feeling very well, think about why someone else in our family is not getting out of bed, is saying things that feel confusing to us, or we just don't feel very connected to them anymore. And Carlene's event makes you sort of like shed all that stigma, and it's fun. You're eating food, you're listening to music, you're doing art, you're talking to friends, you're talking to all these providers. Like, it's not just this like that, oh, we're here, have to be really serious about what's going on. It's a space where you can really engage and learn new things about what might be happening internally for us, while really enjoying yourself and connecting with other people. It's a beautiful event, and you'll be very excited when you go.
Okay, we are going to move over to Rosalind Washington.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rosalind Washington. I'm the medical case manager out of the group. So I take the holistic view. I have been helping since I've...
Oh,
Rosalind, you are breaking up. She is frozen.
Yeah.
She's come back now. Okay.
No, can't hear you, Ross.
Rosalind, we're not hearing you. Are you hearing us? Okay, let's come back. Seems like she's not. Yeah, she's hearing us. Is she saying she's hearing us?
I try to
But we can't hear you.
Things about the holistic approach and women's health that we want to hear.
Did you mute your mic?
Okay.
Did you mute your mic, Rosalind? No.
When did she mute her mic accidentally? It's not muted.
Roz is like the person who to go to when you're talking about women's health. She has lots of experience being a doula in the United States. If you want to talk to somebody who's going to make you feel like, hey, whatever I have to say, no one cares. This person is not going to judge me. Roz is your person, and she's going to be there, and she's going to listen to what you have to say with no judgment whatsoever. And you're going to leave feeling better talking to her.
Okay. So Rosalind sounds like almost like what I do, Julia. Yes. So she sounds like my kindred spirit. So she will soon be back, I'm quite sure. You know, we know how technology was. Last week, we couldn't be on because of technology. So we know how it goes. So from time to time, we're going to have it acting up. So when she gets back, we'll hear a little bit more from her again. So you guys are doing this for the third time. Why, Carlene?
Okay, so like I said, my parents is Jamaican. My father used to go to Jamaica when we was little. He always liked to give back. I work in mental health for the past 20 years. I have a group home where I take people off the street, provide shelters for the people. I always travel to other people's country, and I said, why go to other people's country when we could take some of the people to Jamaica? I know in Jamaica, it's a taboo. People really don't talk about mental health. So if they see somebody down in the street, they be like, okay, that's the madman. People are scared of the people, all the Caribbeans. So people could relate to what I'm saying. People just don't talk about it. Like in the Caribbean, people, like if you say you don't feel well, you go to church, you just pray about it. They don't go and seek professional help. It's the taboo. It's the stigma. It's embarrassing. So I'm letting people know to go through depression, mental health. It's not the worst thing. It's help everywhere. People's there to talk to. If you go to the doctor, you can reach out to. It's different avenue for everybody out there.
Yes, and that is so true. You know, it's today. I got a call from someone, and she was calling on behalf of another family member who is going through some mental deficit. They're not quite sure what was wrong with her. I can't be quite sure what was wrong with her either, just from what they were telling me. But I have an opinion, but an opinion is just an opinion until you get to meet with the person and do a consult. And so I was saying to her, so let the person talk with me, because talking with you won't help the person. I can just guide you on how to support the person by listening and all of that. But if I need to talk to, and she said the person says nothing is wrong with her, so therefore she don't need to talk to anybody. And they are saying she fool and she an idiot. So I'm saying to her, that's why nothing is wrong with her, because you all think she fool and she an idiot. So nothing
And
is gonna be
people,
wrong with her. So
right. And like I said,
until we learn how.
people are very embarrassed to talk about it. And I have worked with people from judges to lawyers to doctors to actors to the babies to the young. I worked in a prison for 10 years. Roz delivered babies in the prison for 10 years. At University of Penn, you don't know who you're getting. So we have experience of all people, of the richest to the poor. And we all, it's like, you can't just pick one person and say, okay, just get better like that. If we have to pick where we need to be, everybody will I'll pick to be a billionaire and don't have no stress. So,
Amen.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, girl? Billionaires have stress.
I have my own doctor. I'll send for Bridget and Natasha to come in. I won't have to go out.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. And we're getting a feedback. Anyway, we will work through that. Most persons, if they can get a concierge psychiatrist, a concierge medical person, they wouldn't mind, because they don't want to go out and let the world know what is happening in their lives. And other than the persons who are affected by the stigma of not getting care, there are persons who would go to care but can't afford to go to care. So they can't afford to do the consult to even find out if what is really wrong with them, or they think they can't afford it, so they tend to stay away. So what you and your team is doing, Caroline, is quite awesome. And I'm really talking to persons about it to encourage people to come out, because in that setting, it is good to hear. It's more comfortable to ask questions without it being personal. And then that can guide them to get to the personal care that they really would need. But I also want to ask your team, again, anyone can answer this one. Now Caroline has a vision. Caroline is doing something which is awesome. Why are you doing it? Why are you agreeing to partner with Caroline in this journey?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I can share. I think
Okay.
there are a lot of reasons why I want to go into this work. And I think one of them being, as somebody from the Caribbean in particular, wanting to, and knowing from my own experience, the stigma that comes with mental health. Within my own family growing up, we didn't talk about mental health. We didn't really start talking about mental health until I was in college, really. And to know what that's like to have lived that and understand that these aren't conversations that happen on a regular basis. I think the other thing is too, one of the things I like that you mentioned is that this is kind of like a gospel and soul station. And I grew up in the church. I grew up in the Gospel Hall Church. I know Gospel Hall is very big in Jamaica. I still go to a Gospel Hall church now up here in Philadelphia. And I think even within the Gospel Hall in particular, and churches in general, we were often told that you have to go to God with everything. And if you go to anyone else, that is, you're saying your faith isn't strong, or that you're not a good Christian. And I want to be able to, talk with the folks when we come next week and talk with you guys down there in Trelawney about, you can be a Christian and have depression. You can be a Christian and have anxiety. You can be a Christian and have substance use disorders, and all of these things they happen to us. And if we're not going to get the help that we need, we're suffering unnecessarily, honestly. Like God gives us all of these resources through doctors, through information, and prayer is beautiful. I love prayer. Prayer gets me through a lot of days. But sometimes we need to add things onto that prayer. And I want to be able to have that conversation with folks when we come down to it.
And you're so right. In the church, persons, because I work with a number of groups, church groups as well. And I think the best thing that happened And God forgive me for the people who's going to knock me for this one. But I guess the best thing that happened to church people was COVID. COVID.
Why do you say that?
Yeah. Because COVID took a lot of persons out of the building, the temple, and help them to realize that church is wherever you are.
Amen.
That's one thing. But when a lot of persons started to go online to worship, then they start to open their minds to other things happening online. And when you're online and your persons will not turn on their cameras and they will put up whatever name they want to put up on that platform, they will ask for help. They will ask you the questions, the hard questions. They will tell you about a relationship you're having that's not working out because somebody had a click. Just this week, we're talking about somebody who we said not only lost some screws, but they lost the screws and then water gathered into the screw spaces in their head. So they are going really, really way out. And when, the topic came up, we laughed. We laughed and then we came back to the reality, said that's the reality of most of us. We're not doing well mentally. In my program, there's a section of my training program that I do on almost every session where I give 2 marbles. And one of the marbles is just simply reminding, when I started the process, it's just simply to remind us that, hey, we're not really gone that mad. We still have our marbles with us. We just need to fix our marbles, get our marbles sorted out. We're not all that far gone. So mental health is really, really, really a challenge for persons to talk about. It's not a challenge to work with persons if they come to care early. And even if they come late, there are different ways of dealing with. I'm a holistic person, so I tend not to use medication, but guide people in a natural way. But then there are times when I have to refer them to someone who will need to medicate them. Because sometimes medication can be for a time, for a season, or for a lifetime. And you have to get them to understand that there's no shame in the game when you need support. If I had cancer, you would say, girl, you need to go to the doctor. You need to remove that cancer. You need to go to care. You need to get treatment. You have a mental health challenge, it's the same story. It is the same story. Same story. It's just another illness that you can be supported with. And many times you don't need a surgery for it. Cancer does need a surgery many times as well. And so therefore, you're coming to Jamaica. I want to hear from someone else who's going to tell me why they're coming. I want more of the people to understand how important mental health is to the team. So they're not just coming for a vacay and an opportunity. And there are other things that are going to come out about persons paying their own way, people doing this because they believe in the process. So we need that, not only the help you're bringing, but the reason why you're going to do it, the reason that what you get from it and what you see as important to the process, and your buy-in, because you must have a buy-in. We know Jamaica beautiful. We know you're coming here to have a good time. I want you to have a good time sometime, either before or after. But I know you're coming with a passion. I feel passionate about holistic mental health and holistic wellness on a whole. But you know they pack up on a bag, when they come from foreign country, leave working opportunities, money-making opportunities to come and spend time and money. So you're bringing your time, your talent, and your treasure to Jamaica. And so, Caroline, I want to know why Bounty Hall. That's another thing I want to know, why Bounty Hall. That there are so many places in Jamaica. Is it that you think we more crazy here or what, Why Bounty Hall? And I need to hear from others.
Okay.
Yes.
So my mom is from Bounty Hall. So we started out there and we're looking to spread our wings to go other places in Jamaica. That's not a one-stop shop. So we started there. We're going to plant a seed there, and we are going to travel to different countries. We're going to go to 1 year. We're going to go with Atasha.
Yes, we're claiming that in the name of the Lord.
Amen. We are going to be traveling. That's why it's called global. We're going all the way around Jamaica, different countries, wherever people need help, we are there.
Okay.
And Bridget will
Awesome.
answer the rest of the questions.
Okay, go, Vijay.
That is one of the reasons why I am coming. As soon as Elena met me, she said, the first day, she said, "You're coming to Jamaica with me this summer." I said, "Oh, okay." And I'm not going to argue with her. But you're right. I love Jamaica. That's another reason. This will be my third or fourth time going there. I love it. It is honestly my favorite country. I got engaged there. It really is a special place to me, and I really, really love the people of Jamaica. So I'm excited to be back for that reason. Um, you can see in my background anything, or to the other side, anything for the diaspora. I'm there, and I'm going to do it. So anything for my people across the globe, like Carlene said, I will be there and help in the best way that I can. But as far as mental health specifically, I just think that this is so important across the globe, but specifically for our people because we have just been through so much. And for so many years, for so many centuries, we've have ignored the trauma that we've endured, all the things that we have been through, the effects that it's had on our schooling, the effects that it's had on our relationships, the effects that it's had on our mental health. And I think that we owe it to ourselves now to pay attention to this. This is something that we owe to ourselves. We need to take back our own mental health. We need to reclaim it. We need to work on healing, and we deserve this. So we really should. There's nothing to be ashamed about. It's the same thing, like we said earlier. If you would want to be physically healthy, you would be going to the doctor about your physical health. You'd be working on it. You'd be doing anything that you had to do. So it should be the same exact thing for your mental health, because guess what? Your mental health affects your physical health, and your physical health will affect your mental health. So it's all one thing. It's all one body. And I really like what you said as far as like it's another illness. A lot of the times when you think about mental illness, they like to say it's not a casserole disease, meaning that nobody's going to show up at your doorstep if you're having a depressive episode with the casserole in their hand saying, "Here you go," trying to help you out. But they should, right? When you think about the people that you love, you care about, you should be there to support them through these tough times. And they need that same support that they would need if they had cancer, or if they just had a heart attack, or if they just broke their leg. So you owe it to your family members, you owe it to your friends, and you owe it to yourself, really.
Sophia,
That's
you
so
can
true.
elaborate
That
on
is
that.
so true. That is so true, Vijay. Roslyn is back with us again. And Roslyn, are you hearing us?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Do you guys hear
Okay.
me?
All right, I just want to step in
Awesome.
for
Girl,
1
talk
minute.
to us.
Sophia was at the first when we started. Sophia was like helping us put it together. Sophia just had a death in our family, so at the last minute, her
Okay.
grandfather passed away, and she'll be there. But she
Wow.
still will be there for everything, and she'll be there next year. We started this journey together. We're gonna finish this journey together, and I just want to tell you, I love you so
Okay,
much,
and my
sister.
condolences, Sophia.
Yeah, yeah. And I told her, don't be
Yes,
sad
my
about it. She
condolences
was,
to you. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you, Carlene. And I think something that I'll just be here, be emotional here.
Yeah, don't cry.
Like,
Hold it.
why am I going? Because I love Carlene. I know that she has so much to give, but I also think part of our mental health experiences is our grief. And we miss that piece a lot. Like, that's not what we think about when we think about mental health, but there's like, we have so many people to grieve. We have so many experiences to grieve. We have, as Bridget was saying, like there's so much intergenerational trauma to think about and for us to like hold in our bodies and try and process, and to just show up and talk is the first step. Thank you, Carly.
Yeah, just showing up and talking and let somebody talk, just let somebody talk. Sometimes that's all they need to do, just talk.
My niece just joined the group, Serena.
I noticed.
Serena is a upcoming doctor. She's getting ready to go to medical school. She just graduated from the University of Penn. She's a physical therapy. I'm talking about physical therapy now. She's a psychiatrist major, and she's heading to medical school. She will be coming to Jamaica to be a part of the team. Welcome.
Thank you guys so
Okay,
much for
great.
having me. I don't know if you can hear me well. My air conditioning's in the background, but it's hot over here. But I'm just so happy to be a part of this. I'm really excited to come back to Jamaica. Get to see the people, and just really understand and how people in Jamaica understand that mental health isn't just for crazy people that you see walking across the street. Like you could lose a loved one and really struggle inside, and that's part of your mental health. Like you need to take care of that, and being depressed or sad with losing a loved one is a normal response. So just giving possible coping mechanisms to help them understand and help all of us understand that mental health is normal and needs to be taken care of just as well as physical health. Yeah.
Really, that's so true. That's so true. So, Rosalind, talk to us.
So, first of all, thank you, Sophia, for jumping in and singing what little bits and pieces I heard of my praises. So, I'm Rosalind Washington. I'm the case manager. I have been working with the OPC clinic and team, especially Carlene, for 5 years up until recently, with Sophia and then, Dr. Shivaria and Dr. Jordan. So, one thing that I like about my role, and we do have another case manager at the clinic, is that we all work as a team. And me coming in, having the background that I have, and my background, like Sophia said, I was a doula in the prison system working with incarcerated women and their families. I have worked in the child welfare system. So I've worked, I've seen mental health in different areas and how it affects. I've worked in after school programs, I've worked in drug court. So working in this clinic is very great because we're able to take that holistic view and help out with the patients, but also I am kind of like a concierge myself, and my coworker, whatever the patients need, we're able to sit there and kind of put them in the right direction as far as resources are concerned, and helping them with referrals. And if someone needs us to hold their hand and walk with them, we're going to walk with them, we're going to fight with them, we're in it with them, we let them know, but we also advocate and we help to teach them to advocate for themselves. So they might come and say, oh, my doctor doesn't understand this, or or my therapist, I told her this. And I'm like, hey, well, you need to bring that up. Did you address that? I'm going to say something,
Yes.
but you have to say something. So, with mental health, there's so much stigma that's around it, and everyone has touched on that here. And it's not the crazy person across the street, it's not the drunk or anything like that. And it's like the iceberg effect, where you have that tip that you see, but there's so many things underneath that's going on, and that it could be socioeconomic, it could be grief and loss, and it may not even be that I lost my family member to death or COVID or anything, but it might be that I'm strained from my family. I've been, ostracized and put out. So, everything just looks different, and being able to meet people where they are. And sometimes, my role is to give it more on a layman's term, and just being real and being empathetic with people. Really, it does help. And, in regards to Bounty Hall Trelawney, and when we did it, like what Sophia said, to piggyback off of that, it was great to do it in that environment, to introduce ourselves, to say, yes, we know in Jamaica there may not be as many resources as it is in America, but this is a worldwide issue. And it's still, to this day in 2022, so much stigma. And no, there may not be resources to the extent of other countries and cities and states, but there are resources. Take advantage of it. And to come from a point of being raised in the church, and yes, in God or someone being spiritual, we're not taking away anything like that. But sometimes people get caught up in the faith or speaking to their family and friends and not wanting to speak to providers. And it may not only be about their health and mental health, but physical health too, because we have systemic issues and medical racism. or you just don't want to be judged, or you've had a bad experience. So having this event at Bouncy Hall Trelawney was great. When we went there to experience it, I jumped in. I've been coming to Jamaica since I was in my 20s. I'm 43 now, but Carlene extended that to myself and Sophia years ago, and it was a blessing. It was an honor, and it was definitely a gift. And I'm very thankful, because in that setting, it is out. Is we start indoors, but we do go outside, and it's a holistic approach even there, and it's not so overwhelming. And people aren't anxious. Yes, they may be coming in because there are giveaways and there may be food and it's music, but it's also community. It's looking around and saying, oh, I see sister so and so, or I see that person, or I see a lot of people that look like me that's in here that might be struggling with something. I'm not alone. You're not in this by yourself. So thank you.
That's awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm going to pause for a little bit to say hello to some of our listeners. So all my listeners, wherever you're calling in from, I got some person sending me a message on my personal line. Come on, guys, I tell you, when I'm on air, send the messages to 876-478-9144 or 876-317-1991. But I have a listener here from Austria, and he's saying what you guys are doing is awesome. Next year, if you're doing it, wherever you're going, he was going to listen out for your call, and he may not be able to go with all these beautiful ladies. However, he will maybe try to sponsor something. And so, and so I have 4 listeners in ardent listeners in Austria who became a part of my program when I did that. I did a program where we're talking about diabetes and how it impacts your kidneys. And so 2 of them became my clients. So I do have clients internationally. And so they're listening all the time, but not for devil. They would talk on the WhatsApp lines publicly. They always send me private messages and stuff. But it's good to have them listening in. And it gives me good feeling to know that worldwide you are being heard this evening, ladies. Also want to pause to big up our listeners, our faithful listeners every evening from whichever continent you are. I have some listeners that have stayed up until midnight in England that they can be part of the program this evening. Big up to you as well. To our listeners out of Africa, different countries in Africa, we're saying big up to you as well. And to my faithful listeners in the US, we're saying big up to you. Sending also big up to Misha. So she's saying good evening. Lavine is saying good evening. Lavine Gray, hi. She's my hairdresser. She fixed me up. Yes. And she's a friend as well. We have Felicia listening in. We have Pauline Williamson. Carlene, we like your laughs, guys. And Melcinda is also listening and watching in. So we have some of our faithful listeners on, and we want to say big up to you all. Thank you for listening in this evening as a very important program. I'm asking you to just for a moment, just send the link to somebody else, let them listen on. And share the word. August 11th, Bounty Hall. Come out. I have 2 persons who can't come, but they will benefit because I will become their voice. And so for one young lady, she was in a very bad accident. I don't want to talk much about it because a lot of people know about it. And so I don't want to say who she is, but she will definitely be benefiting from what you guys are doing, Carlene, based on the conversation we had. So I know she'll be benefiting as well. And so we are saying to other persons, if you're listening this evening, you're hearing about it for the first time, tell everybody. And though it is happening in Bounty Hall, Trelawney, Carlene did say to me, anywhere in the country you come from, you can still come. And so anywhere in Jamaica you're from, you can make it there, you're included. She also said to me, if you have somebody who wants to come and they don't live too far, after the function on the next day, they don't mind go visiting. So still come out and state your claim, state your cause. We all need the support. We all need the help, right? And as we're talking about mental health, I also want to say to persons, a lot of time we think it's just experiences that gives us mental challenges. Sometimes we have hormonal things happening in our bodies that we don't know why we are feeling this way. We don't know what is happening. It's not an experience you have had in your life. It's simply something happening within your body because something is not balanced and not working right. And so those hormones is happening to your brain. It is in your system. Like how you drink some rum and it goes straight to your brain and do some crazy stuff. You have your body producing other hormones that is sometimes not working so well with something else. Sometimes your very body is fighting body, and we have terms for all of these things. So you don't know what is causing your emotional imbalance or your mental faculties not working properly. And forgive the people, I tell you, sometimes I'm always struggling to find the simple words because we need to use these simple words that everyone can understand what we're talking about. Yes. So back to my guest, and reminding you, just before I go back to my guest, send your messages to 876-478-9144 or 876-317-1991. Auntie Julia is monitoring those two lines, and if so, the messages come in, she will bring them up. And if you want to send a voice note, we play it for your guests, for our guests to listen into, you can send those as well, right? So be part of the story and be part of the game. Good evening, Thelma. Glad you're joining us as well. So remember now, if you know anybody who need to hear the conversation this evening and need to hear the conversation on the 11th, spread the word. It's not private. It's not private. This is not private at all. And there's a song that says it's a private party, but you mustn't tell your mommy, don't tell your daddy, but you don't need no invitation. Just bring your broken heart. This one we're having is public, it's not private, and all you need to bring is your need yourself, and you want to learn more, even if you help somebody else. Just bring your need. Just bring your curiosity. If it's even fast, you want to come fast. On the 11th, you're welcome. Okay, ladies, back to you now. Tell us some more about what is going to happen and what we're going to do. Sophie, I know you're not going to be here, and I know you're emotional, but we still want to hear something from you as well as we go through. And Rosalind, I'm glad you kind of sort out, right? Who am I missing? Am I missing somebody? No, we're all here,
Okay.
right?
Just
Okay.
a quick second.
So,
we also
Yes.
gonna have a physical therapist. We also gonna have a nutrition. We couldn't have everybody join
Okay.
today because it's a lot of us. So just to put that in there also.
Okay, about how many persons are in your team, Carlene? Coming. I don't mean who is online now, but about how many persons of you? How many of you coming?
12.
About
12.
12. Awesome. A whole dozen. Look at that.
Yes.
So in Jamaica, what I say, if you don't have 12, but we take a dozen. If you don't take a 12, we take a dozen. So people either 12 coming or a dozen coming. But when they come, you count, right? And so they are coming here. And it's a Global Hands Foundation. And I like the name as well. Because I put global, me in it too. Me in it, right? So me and Auntie Julia in there because it's global. And global mean all of we, right? All of we. And so not only is a global team coming, but they're also inviting global persons to come out. So all of we invited, all of us will be supported. And I'm going to put a plug in for them because I know if you're listening this year, and the plug is put in the thought for my friends in Austria, that if you're listening in, you want to support the cause for next year, I'm quite sure Caroline will tell you later on how you can be a part of the process, even if you can't join the team physically. But I'm quite sure she'll tell you how you can be a part of the process. All right, enough of me talking now. Back to my guests. Come on, who lost one person again? Oh, she's back. Okay, so let's continue the conversation. So I want to hear a little bit more from any one of you who wants to talk a little bit. So we're going to talk mental health. And as Lisa is reminding us, Misha, sorry, is reminding us, meet and greet is on August 10th at Cooper's Pen, Trelawney. Tell us a little bit more about that, Carlene.
So we have quite a bit of local doctors from Jamaica. We're going to have Dr. Harris. We're going to have Dr. Dale. And we are going to have the mayor. We having Fred Barkley, and the list go on. We also having you and Sister Julia and other people going to be joining the team for the meet and greet. So we want just to come out, just to talk about what is going to happen the next day, because our schedule is so wide, and we just want to let people know in Jamaica where this is not just for mental health only. We have stuff for little kids. We have stuff pretty much for anything. And everybody wants to come out. They want to know, we're going to have the regular nurses. We're going to have nutrition. We're going to have a physical therapy there. We have stuff for the kids to do. So the list go on. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that.
So, and this is open to persons to come out and just meet, greet, and have a good time.
Right.
And so it's going to be at Cooper's Pen.
Okay, so the meet and greet
Cali.
The meet and greet is going to be at Club Cali. That's where my brother's restaurant is. So the meet and greet is pretty much for like the doctors, the nurses, and the team. We're having a meet and greet just to let everybody, just to meet the other doctors in Jamaica, just to introduce ourselves to the people in Jamaica. But the main event is going to be in Montreal on August 11th at 10:30 to 5.
Yeah. Right, at the New Testament Church?
At the New Testament Church of God, but we also have in the parking lot where we're gonna have the bouncy house. We're gonna have like popcorn machine. We're gonna have a lot of activities, a lot of different events gonna be happening at the church and across from the church.
Okay, so it's almost like you're having a health fair.
Yeah, we are having a health fair.
Yes, that sounds awesome.
And we are having
so it's a health fair happening.
For the kids.
Oh, okay. So you hear, guys. So it's a health fair. It's a health fair with a little bit more. It's a health fair with a twist.
Let me tell you another secret, Julia. I want to tell you a little secret. We are providing free lunch, cooked meal for everybody. You know, in Jamaica, when they say free, we love free.
Yes.
I think everyone loves free.
It's not Jamaica one, you know.
Yeah.
But yes, so guys, come out, get your support, get what I want you to come really to listen to the mental health talk, get your other checkups, get your free gifts, get your bouncy bout for the kids. Remember, summer is still on. It's still holiday, guys. It's still holiday. And also meal. So you promise a hot meal. And a hot meal goes a long way every time, right? And so that's one meal you don't have to worry about, because on the 11th, you'll also be fed. So look at that. That's an awesome lineup. But okay, so we want to go back. I know you guys are doing other things other than just mental health alone. And I know that your team has other skill sets other than talking about mental health. So what are some of the other things, and other team members can answer as well, other than having a direct mental health challenge? What are some of the challenges we're seeing, other than long COVID, as people are talking about having long COVID? Other than long COVID, and it's a serious issue because some persons are having mental health challenges because they have had COVID. And it's a real thing. Are you guys seeing cases like those, having that kind of experience there as well? Because I have friends here who were pretty good until they had COVID. And so that brings in as well, as we're talking about the hormonal imbalances that lead to mental challenges and to the brain working properly. Are you guys having that experience where you are?
Yeah. I was going to say yes, but I know you're going to say the same thing.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing it. And I think to your point, it's like, there's so many different ways it's impacting people. People are nervous and anxious about when are these symptoms going to end, if ever, or, you know, what other things could go wrong because of the illness I have, or if it's impacted your ability to work, your ability to move around on the day to day, to be able to do the things that you like. There are people who are experiencing depression from that. So there's the physical side of, you know, people having issues with memory, issues with thinking, issues with breathing, you know, their heart functions changing. There's that physical side. And then the physical things can impact the mental health things like Dr. Chaudhary was talking about before.
That is so true. That is so true. And so anyone else want to add anything to that? Thank you. BJ? Anyone else? Okay. I know what is happening. Everybody waiting for the other person to speak. I might have to put up on the hand.
I raised my hand. So
okay, go ahead.
Definitely the past 2 years, the pandemic has been an issue, and that has been global, but also social injustice has been, you know, it's always been the thread of our country. But also that is something that we're starting to see. We're starting to see people with their sexual identity, and we're starting to have, you know, more conversations and some, you know, helping people to be open-minded, helping them with assets. It may be relationship issues. Me coming from my background of working in maternal and child health, even now, just, you know, like I said, we're talking about the medical racism, but also talking about mortality, the paternal and maternal mortality rate, where women of color are passing away during delivery, labor and delivery, and even a year out afterwards. So there are so many things, you know, like you said, in regards to mental health, but even, you know, tying in the physical health pieces. You know, you might have someone that is suffering with cancer, or they may have diabetes, or they may have hypertension, or something, you know, is going on, or they may be a caregiver for, you know, their geriatric family member, or they may be dealing with, you know, a family member that is suffering from drug and alcohol abuse. They may have a child that has some mental health issues. You know, they may have a child that's on the spectrum. They may have a child that has mental health issues. So we get an array of people in our clinic, and I feel like everyone here has worked in so many different facets and dealt with all different types of populations. So we're seeing a lot, and we're dealing with a lot. And, you know, I look at the pandemic as a gift and a curse, where, yes, you know, we were separated and people had to get tested, and it felt like, you know, an STD, you know, you were scared to touch and interact, and you were grieving, missing touching and interacting. But it also had a lot of people seeking out not only their medical necessities, but also their mental. That was the biggest thing. You know, COVID kept the mental health workers employed when people were losing jobs. Not saying that, you know,
it's true. It's true. It's true.
I think
it's a reality.
That too is that. Oh, what was that? Is it okay? Something I was just going to say, we talked about how the physical impacts your mental health, and we talked about also how, what's going on in your life can also impact your mental health. But I think it's important to highlight, and this is, so important to Roz's job, just the social aspects of your life that can impact your mental health. So your finances. If you're really struggling out here, that is going to impact how well you're able to function mentally, how you're feeling about yourself, your self-esteem, your confidence, your ability to take care of your family. That's huge to people. And I think also another thing to consider is how are your relationships affecting your mental health? If you don't have strong relationships, if you don't have strong attachments, if you're isolated, those are all going to have an impact on your mental health. And I think that's the big thing when Roz says COVID was a gift and a curse, it really highlighted the importance of mental health, right? Because it attacks your physical, it attacks your mental, it attacks your finances, your social connections. So it highlighted all of those things that could break down in life and really crush your mental health.
True.
So as
Yes.
happy as I am that we have so much attention on the mental health, it was a really rough time for people. It really was. And continues to be for a lot of people trying to recover.
Yeah.
Yes. And when Rosalind was speaking, well, 3 thoughts came into my head. No, 2 came into my head. And now, listening to Bridget, another one came into my head, right? So I'm going to start with the last one first because it kind of jumps at me just listening just now when you're talking about the impact of just finances and all of that on our mental health. Men came to my mind. Men. COVID have caused a lot of men to have to really look at their own mental health. It caused them to see themselves and the need that they have, because not only were they otherwise, as one gentleman said, me born with mental health problem in my DNA, because come back from slavery in my family and we no heal or no. I know COVID turned me in a croft. And so he was really being affected by his inability to care for his family because he didn't have work and he couldn't get work because of COVID. And so now he was feeling inadequate and he was feeling like workless man. And, in his case, his wife was able to get a little something to do every now and then. You know how we women are, we can get a little something to do. And then sometimes her family would give something. And then he said that they have never said anything in his presence to make him feel small. But then when the family needs something and he's not able to provide it, and they have to turn to others, and he's in the house, he said it makes him feel really small. Sometimes he's even afraid to eat the food that is provided because he don't want nobody say my mama man and this. So the mental health of our men and our boys many times is overlooked as well. And I'm saying to our men, if you are listening to us this evening and you're in Trelawney or anywhere nearby, make your way to Bounty Hall. We are not only talking to the women, we're talking to you as well, because your mental health is important to us as women, because we want our men to be well, right? And a lot of men don't come to care for anything at all very easily.
Yeah.
And mental health is one of those that men will not admit that they're having a challenge with. When Rosalind was speaking as well, it brought to my mind, I have a friend in the US, and when I was there in January this year, I know they were preparing a big program trying to work with hospitals, because they were targeting hospitals for maternal health care for Black women, because they pointed out to me that it's a big thing. And so they're developing a program, which I was helping with a little bit until I came back, for persons of Black people and also other ethnic groups or marginalized groups who are having maternal health care problems. So that is another thing that affects women and their mental health as well, and their caring partners as well. And I know that's a challenge in the US. And in Jamaica, we have some of that concerns as well. But we can't say we have a problem for Black concern. We are a Black country. We just simply have a concern about maternal care. But in your country now, you are faced with the multifaceted of racial inputs and impacts. So yours kind of diverse and work out a little differently from us, but it is real. And then this week, I think it was yesterday, someone called me really arguing, and I don't know what they expected me to do about it. I don't even know the people they're talking about, but I guess I'm someone that they could vent to, and so they wanted me to listen and agree with them. I couldn't agree, but I could listen and give my little feedback. But a gentleman, and I'm saying that with my tongue in my cheek, a gentleman is now pregnant, and he and his wife is expecting a baby. And so somebody called me and saying, this is flying a God face and all kind of thing. And the person was really, really upset. And them are mad people and all of that. So I'm looking at this family now that I don't really know. I don't know anything about them, but apparently they are some transgender family. So the woman is now a man and the man is now a woman, something like. And then the man who was a woman is a man now, but is pregnant to carry the child, and they got pregnant the normal way that everybody else get pregnant. They did it the right way. And so persons were having this big thing, and some persons were having kittens, as they would say about it. And for me, it's neither here nor there. It's the people in business. But then now I look on the flip side, because I have transgender friends who now call me and I say, you see the story, you see what people say on Facebook and so about us. And so I was dealing now today with their real mental health challenge of not having the right to live the life that they have chosen or the life that has chosen them. Because I'm not saying transgenders is because they want to do something why they do it. It's simply who they are. And so society now giving them other mental issue challenges because they cannot be accepted for who they are. So when I look at all of these three scenarios alone can show you how your mental health challenge can be challenged in any, plus everything else, right? And I'm quite sure in your practices, you will see different forms of ill health that affects mental health and different forms of mental health that affect other parts of your body. Because there's another thing I was looking at. There's a lady a few years ago. She died a few years ago, but she died from cancer. But she never had cancer. But she had all the symptoms, and she told herself she had cancer because it runs in her family and it killed her. But she never really had cancer. But she was convinced. And you have people like these. These are mental health challenges. And a lot of times, even medical doctors will see patients like these, sweep them on the carpet, put them into a box, and don't provide the proper care for them. Sometimes they're in the public health system and they're overwhelmed. They don't have no time for this one. And they send them to go somewhere else, which they never went to. And so these are real challenges we are seeing in our society today. People believing they can't afford care because sometimes they can afford it, but they tell themselves based on what they have heard to work with mental health is expensive. So therefore it don't make sense when bother go seek help because I can't afford help. So these are some of the issues that we are really seeing in Jamaica. And I don't know if it is any different where you are, because people are people wherever they are. Of course, resources are different. And in Jamaica, we have a very good public health mental system. But can I tell you, it's a system that is overworked and under-resourced. And so that's another thing. Persons, I refer people to go to the clinic and they said, be careful for some whole day just to talk to somebody because they don't understand the importance of just talking to somebody for their own mental health. So talk to us again about the importance of seeking care. So this is what I want you to point out for us now. Importance of seeking care and to look at seeking care above the challenges you think exists. Just to go out and seek. Go ahead, Roslyn.
Is it me? Am I Roslyn now? I'm going to be you.
That's Sophia.
I'm thinking.
Sophia, go ahead.
I'm thinking about you're threading together these ideas of what it means for a person to not fit into the box that they were told that they were supposed to fit into, and how that feels for us to sort of crack open the box and then be ourselves in a space that maybe doesn't want us to be ourselves or is threatened by ourselves, or for the men whose masculinity is
challenged.
Thank you. We do see them. We see them. We talk to them, and there should be like a little bit less emphasis on connection within masculine circles, and we want to emphasize the opposite. And so I'm thinking about the ways you're thinking about the way people just sort of explode their identities, and they're like, hi, this is me, and the way the world presses on them and how that hurts us, and how you access. We have tons of access issues with mental health. We have a lot. I'm a therapist. I'm a talk therapist. So you come and you sit and we talk. That's it. No medication. That's very difficult to get. And I work in a public hospital system, and there are like 3 of us for, I don't know, thousands of people. So obviously there's no access. So I think when we think about it, there are ways you care for yourself and you care for your community beyond the psychiatric, the confines of psychiatric care. Connecting with nature when people are experiencing a lot of trauma, like being in a space, ocean, like being in a space where you feel calm, like your body can be calm and regulated. Writing things down, if you can't talk to someone, journaling things in a space that feels private. If you can't talk to someone, making sure you nourish yourself with the right food, and drink water, and you go to sleep. And if you can get a hug from a safe person. Like, there are things that we can do, tangible things that we can do. If we say, hey, I'm not feeling well, and I need to go through and find my safe spaces.
And one of the
That is so true. And as I talk about the hug, just last week I told a young lady, put on your clean clothes, go visit some friends, find a safe male companion, and get a good testosterone hug, and you will feel better. And she did it. So she went among her male friends and just hug up. Every one of them can get a good hug. She take a good hug, a good tight hug, because she's single. So I have to tell her to do it safely. And you know what she did? She went back and she have a friend who is married, but whose husband don't pay her no mind at all. So she told the friend, go on a church Sunday, because she's a Sunday worshiper. Go on a church Sunday. You see all your church brother them hug you up, hug them up. You will start feel better. And so she has passed the remedy along. Just a hug makes so much of a difference. Especially when if you're a man, you get a good, nice, non-sexual hug from a female. It helps you to feel good. Listen to me, guys. I'm a sex therapist. And I guide people. I tell people just a hug is enough to take care of those hormonal imbalances you're having, where you feel like you need the actual sex. Sometimes it's not the sex you need. It's just a good man for hug you or a good woman for hug you, and you tell yourself, this is what I'm getting today, and I'm holding on to it, and I'm going to feel good about it, and I'm not going to take the actual sex. It's going to bring baggages that I'm not ready to deal with yet, and you move on, and it helps your mental health. It does.
A little bit of
back to you, ladies.
Yeah. But you could also start by saying hello, because a lot of people in this world don't even smile anymore. People don't even speak. So you can see a person coming in. I had a patient of mine came in, and he's a big time judge in Philadelphia. He came in, he was really having a bad day. He came in and I was like, hello, how are you today? How was your day? And I started having a conversation with him. He just started crying. He said, you know what? I was just thinking about killing myself today.
Oh dear.
And people, like, we forget about the little things in life. You understand what I mean? People nowadays, we're just so busy. We're just too busy. Sometimes it's just the small little things, just, hi, how was your family? Sometimes
we forget to smile.
We forget to smile and stuff like that. And another thing too, I don't know if a lot of people is going through that in Jamaica, the postpartum depression too. It's like a major in women having kids. And sometimes
one of the things we don't talk about either.
Yeah, those are the things that people don't talk about. People have kids and they expect for you to just to be better tomorrow and just going back to work, leave your kids with somebody, and nobody talks about it, But it's a lot of things that we got to talk about in Jamaica. And it's a lot of things, like we have a lot of information, and we're ready to talk to people. Don't be embarrassed. You understand what I mean? Because whatever you tell us today is private. You understand what I mean? And we probably won't remember what you just tell us, but we're there to give you the information and talk to you. And so, like I said, we are good people, and we're coming to meet a lot of people. It's just not we're not going to judge you. No question is stupid. No question is too small. No question is too big. If you want to talk, we are there.
And something I'll add on to
No
that.
emotions is unimportant.
Yeah, and I just
Go
wanted
ahead.
to add on to what Carlene said, that it's so important for us to know what it is that you all want us to talk about. Because I think there's important to know that in the US, some of the challenges that are facing us here are going to be different than the challenges that you all are facing based on the community of Trulawney and what's going on there. Like, what's the unemployment or employment situation like? What's the access to resources? I remember from my trip to Jamaica that groceries are very expensive. I was very shocked by how expensive the cost of food was. And for us to know what it is that is impacting you would be incredibly helpful. So I think maybe if even that number that Dr. Mwendo sent and has been saying, if you can send in topics that you want to learn more about, I think that can help us, so that when we come and talk to you guys next week, we're talking specifically to the challenges and the things that you are facing. And it reminds me that when we come, we're going to talk a little bit and have some sessions where we're just kind of sharing information. But then we're going to have some smaller one-on-one sessions where we can talk to people in those smaller settings that's a little bit more personal. But I think for the big group setting, let us know what you want us to talk about, because we can talk about a whole bunch of random topics, but if they're not what you want to hear, that would be such a waste. And I want to make sure that if they're, just specific things, that if you're curious about alcohol use, are you curious about marijuana and is ganja good for you or not? Like all of these different things, you let us know, because again, I just really want to emphasize that we are coming for you. So if you can give us a sense of what would be helpful to talk about, that'll help us just benefit you even more.
And one thing I want to talk about too,
Awesome.
with my experience from Jamaica, like I have family member and friends and too. In Jamaica, like the woman abuse, like if your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, like they beat you up, I know that people don't really think it's a bad thing. They really don't talk about that stuff. You go on to your spouse and make it right, because he's the breadwinner. He makes the money. So you got to stay there, and it's okay. No, it's not okay. So that's a lot of things too. Like we went last time, people was coming up to us and talk about that type of stuff too. So that's one of the things too that we are going to be able to talk about too in Jamaica.
Yes, you need to talk about it. And part of what my organization does is assist women who are affected by domestic violence. And some of them really have to run. Intimate partner violence. We have a program where we relocate, help to pay for new identities. It's a wraparound program that we provide at Wellness in Motion. It's a real thing. And some women don't leave for different reasons. And recently we heard of a tiger and a lion that fell in love and ran away. So I was at the hairdressers when the conversation came up. I was saying, okay, the lion and the tiger knows to run away because they want to be able to live happily ever after. And the question was asked, so why women don't know to run away because they want to live happily ever after? And then the conversation started to say, there's so many reasons why a woman, a sister, will not just run. There are so many reasons, and it's not always about kids. It's about what the church tells you. It's about, and I was saying to someone recently, hello, I used to lead a church, so I know what I'm talking about. I know the Bible from cover to cover. I'm still learning new things about the Bible. So a lot of things that we were taught, it's not what the Bible said. The Bible didn't tell us. It's misinterpretation of the Bible. And if it is in the Bible, I'm going to say it's misinterpretation by the writer, because no good God wanted to sit down and be punished. Yes. And the Bible did say you can leave. The Bible tell you can separate. Hopefully you can get back together. Right. So we say to our women, don't leave. But I want to remind persons again, just as was brought forward, if you want to share ideas and suggestions of topics for our guests to come and talk about when they come next week, remember the number is 478-9144 or 876-317-1991. And for this one, if it's after the program is finished and you still want to send me some other message, you can send to 876-870-2284 as well. I'll take those on my personal line after the show. It's during the show you mustn't tell me anything, because everything you tell me in the show now, because I got a lot of messages that I'm going to send back to them. I send them to Caroline afterwards, but they're all on my personal line. I can't go through those. If you did send them on the other line, then Julia would have gone through them and shared them with us. So I want, as we're coming down, I want Caroline and any other member from the team who want to just give us some last minute bounce in conversation, remind them of the venue, remind them of what's going to happen, remind them of the date. Go.
Again, the event is going to be on August 11th at 10:30 to 5 in Montreal, Trelawney, New Testament Church of God. We're going to be having psychiatrists, social worker, physical therapists, case management, and also nurses and myself. We are going to be partnering with some of the doctors in Jamaica. We are going to be having walkers giveaway. We're going to have in wheelchair. We're going to have diapers for babies and adults. We're giving away care packages. We're giving away book bags. The book bags is limited. We only have 25 book bags for kids. So please come out early with your kids. You have to bring the kids. You can't say, I'm taking a book bag to give it to Mr. Brown or Mr. Sue. We like to interact with the kids. We're going to have stuff for the kids to do. We're going to have arts and craft for the kids. We want to make this a family event. It's just not only for mental health. We're there. We're going to also have a physical therapy. She's going to be helping out. So pretty much we're going to have a nutritionist. And we want everybody to come out. This event is for everybody. It's just not like in Jamaica, people said it's for mad people. It's for everybody. Please come on out. We all are looking forward to be there. We are looking forward to have good conversation. We are looking forward to just to have a good time. And we'll see you on August 11th, 10:30 to 5, Montreal, Trelawney, and the list goes on. Thanks for having us.
Yes. Remember, guys, it's not for mad people. It's to make sure you don't become a mad people.
There you
right?
go.
So this is to prevent you from joining the mad people group, as you call it, because mad people only need little food, a medication, and then go sit down some of the rest of the day. We don't want you to get there. We want to stop the journey from completing if you're not feeling so well in your headspace. We want to help you to stand, to help you to rise. And that's what the Global Foundation is all about. They are about making a difference, lifting you up. And somebody was saying, hello? Who was talking when I cut you off?
Sophia.
Okay, it was Sophia.
I mean, I was listening. But
Wasn't you Sophia?
It was Brigitte. Go ahead, Brigitte. You can do the closing, Brigitte. You can close out.
Brigitte.
I wasn't saying anything. I was just listening. But I'm just going to say again that we're excited to see you all next week. Please send in any questions that you have from us, any topics that you want to bring up, anything that you're seeing in your own community that that you feel like is worth bringing up. Anything stressing you guys out that's affecting your mental health, please bring it up to us, and we can try to help come up with some solutions.
Yeah. And Serena, my niece Serena, she's a young lady. She's in her 20s, so she'll be able to reach the teenagers. She'll be able to reach the young adults. If you any little questions, if you just need somebody to talk to. So, and people are going back to college, going back to school. She is the right person to talk to. She's great. She's very smart, and she'll be in Jamaica with us.
And don't come by yourselves. Make sure you either bring a friend, bring your mother, bring your sister, bring your child, bring somebody with you. Make sure that you bring somebody along. Bounty Hall, Trelawney next week. We want to see as many people as possible. So make sure you come, and you come with a friend.
Okay, Roz.
This is a step in the right direction by coming. This is making steps towards your wellness. wellness overall, taking a holistic approach is beneficial. It might, impact your mood. It might, impact your relationship. It might, impact what's going on, period. So just coming and
Yes.
getting out and being surrounded by others, sometimes because we have things going on, we want to isolate and stay away. But that is all steps in beneficial in coming out. So we are definitely excited. I know I'm excited to come to Bouncy Hall, Trelawney, August the 11th from 10 to 5 and just meet everyone in the community and help the best way that we can.
Awesome. Awesome. Carlene, Vijay, Sophia, Asha, and Rosalind. And remind me of my little sister's name.
Serena.
Your niece?
Serena.
Serena?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm adding her to my list. Right. And Serena, I'm thanking you ladies all for joining with us this evening. Julia and I are excited to have had you on or with us this evening. We're looking forward to line with you on the 10th and then to come and work with you on the 11th. So we'll be there to support you. We're inviting our friends, guys. The Global Hands Foundation, they are making the trip. These are mental health and let's put it right. It's a health fair.
Yes, it is.
Right? It's a health fair with a mental health twist.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's what it's all about. And it's happening on the 11th. And they are looking forward to come. They have prepared, they have exciting things lined up for you. And so therefore, we are looking forward to spending time with them. And they need your company to make the trip worthwhile. So ladies, stay blessed. Walk good. I can't wait to meet up with all of Uno on the 10th and then to work with you on the 11th. Blessings. Okay, so
Bye,
my listeners, before I go
Jamaica.
into my inspirational yeah. So
Bye.
before I go
Have a
into our
good
inspirational
night.
moment, I'm just going to give you a little tide over, play a little something, and then we go into our inspirational moment.
All right. Good night.
Okay, so for inspirational moment this evening, I would just want to quickly remind us faith is what is going to take you through life. Trusting God and how He leads you. And I'm talking from personal experience just these last couple of days. Well, and even a few hours, as Julia just reminds me, just a few hours, just a few moments ago, just saying to God, Father, I'm trusting you for something. So here I am, opening my wings, and now I am waiting on the wind of grace to lift me beyond what my faith can believe for. As much as I have the mustard seed, please take me beyond that. And within less than an hour of praying that prayer this evening, God not only answered the prayer I was praying for my immediate solution, but He gave me an extended solution answer as well. So I am using my experience this evening to say to you, it doesn't matter where you are at the moment. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It don't matter at all. Trust the divine. He has your back. And if even when you look at the breastplate, the whole armor of that you need to put on for your righteousness, you have breastplate, you have head, you have foot, but there's nothing to cover your back. There's no eyes in the back of your head. It's because the divine already protects your back. He has your back. And so this evening, I want to remind you, allow your faith to go where your dreams are. Open your wings. Don't wonder where the wind is going to come from. The wind of grace will take you on that journey you need to go on to find yourself, to find hope, to find that mental wellness that you're seeking, to find the financial wellness that you're seeking. The answer is in the wind, as they say. It's provided by the Master. Open your wings this evening and be prepared to fly to greatness. And guess what? I encourage you, after you have experienced His goodness and His grace, take time to testify of His goodness, because it says, a good report fattens the bone. Somebody else who is hopeless will find hope because you were willing to trust God and then tell a story. Walk good. From Healing Moments this evening, we want to say to you, stay blessed. Next week, we have a nice lineup of replay program for you again next week. So you're going to hear from us. You're going to have a replay, because on the 10th, we're going to mingle, Julie and I. But we're going to play this repeat program. For those who didn't get to hear it from the beginning, you will hear the replay, the rebroadcast next week. And then the following week, I have an awesome doctor lineup to come and talk with you. So he's coming to talk to Uno, telling about how music heals and other plans he has for nursery rhymes to change lives and all of that. So I'm not going to tell you who it is. You got to listen in to see who it's going to be. So stay good, walk well, and I'll see you around the bend. Blessings.